Thanks for checking out the Barbershop YouTube page. Please hit the subscribe button so you can get notified of all the latest videos that I'm dropping. Got a goal in mind. Want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of November. Let's see if we can get to that. Follow me on Twitter at gbush91. So, once again, Cleveland Browns. Oh man, this is getting depressing. This is getting downright depressing. And it's getting to the point where I can't even give you the emotion and the anger. It's starting to get depressing. We starting to come on here, and it's starting to come to the point where we doing stuff like this. The empty bottles of the barefoot, bro. The empty bottles. You know, first of all, it's a barbershop here, and you watch a game like that with the Cleveland Browns today, and you watch situations like that with the Browns, and first thing that comes to mind to me is all the fans that watch the games and all the fans that watch stuff like that, and you watch the consistent penalties, the shooting yourself in the foot. And those are the consistent signs of terribly coached teams. And I know people want to come, and I know people want to, go and say, why is it Hugh Jackson's fault? And why is Hugh Jackson, and why do you guys get on the radio station in 92 through the fan, and you guys want to blame Hugh Jackson? And you guys always want to say it's Hugh Jackson's fault. Hugh Jackson's not dropping the footballs. Hugh Jackson's is not out there making these terrible plays. Hugh Jackson this and Hugh Jackson that. And why do you guys blame Hugh? Listen, man, I can't do it no more. I can't do it. Hugh Jackson is no longer getting an endorsement from me. I can't go on the radio station and sit here and say that Hugh Jackson needs to keep his job. And I'm not about going out here firing people and all that, this, that, and the third. But listen, man, when you go out there and you got penalties after every single play, granted, some of these penalties that's being called on the Cleveland Browns is the worst, stupid, dumb penalties, and ain't even penalties in my handbook. We'll get to that later in the film. But some of these penalties, it's just undisciplined nature. It's the undisciplined nature of your football team. And the fact that you're going out there, either you're coaching it or you're condoning it. Either you're endorsing that behavior or you're not. Or you're coaching people to do that, or you're coaching it out of that. You're coaching people out of that behavior, or you're saying, okay, that's okay. The senseless holding penalties behind the play, the dumb penalties, the face mask penalties, the penalties, the fact that you cost yourself the game. You got Peppers back there. Peppers has not done anything in the kickoff game since he's been a Cleveland Brown. We've told you, anybody with half of a football IQ can tell you that you need a punt return guy. Put Jarvis Landry back there. Put anybody else back there. Put Antonio Callaway back there. You drafted him for that reason. Put him back there. You keep putting Peppers back there during these games. He's fair catching kickoffs and punts. He's showing the 9 IQ back there. He's fair catching balls inside the 10. He's showing a 9 acumen for returning these kicks and punts. And guess what it did for you today? It cost you. He muffed a punt in overtime that your team should have won a football game. Again, once again, it comes down to your special teams. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fired their defensive coach. They fired their defensive coordinator the week before they played y'all. And guess what? It comes down to little small stuff like this. And you muff a punt in overtime. And you keep putting them back there. And Hugh Jackson gets to these press conferences, and the fans and your fan base is tired of hearing the tired rhetoric. Oh, we cost ourselves a chance to win the game again. We just need to learn how to make the plays. We just need to learn how to finish. We need to learn how to start converting these. We shoot ourselves in the foot. You know, we tired of hearing that, man. And y'all fans that ain't tired of hearing it, we tired of hearing you stick up for this stuff. It's 3 years. You ain't won a game and you lost 26-27 home or road games. We tired of hearing that, man. And if you want to keep being an apologist for this type behavior, go do it. Because I'm tired of seeing games that the look Baker Mayfield had when that kicker hit that game-winning field goal in overtime. It pains me to see stuff like that. Because that kind of look is the same look that fans are seeing every single week. That pain, that anguish, oh my gosh, I can't believe he hit that. I can't believe he just hit that. And it's the same look of, I can't believe it's 3rd and 29 and you give up half of that to let him get in field goal range to start with. That's the look I give up as a guy who plays football. It's 3rd and 29, and I can't believe, Greg Williams, you let him get in that range to let even get that kickoff. You know what the mind state is. Let us get into some sort of field goal range. You let Larry Ogunjobi sack. Myles Garrett and Ogba sack to get you in the 3rd and 29. In the overtime, to put yourself in a position to put those guys behind the 8 ball, to even to say, listen, I understand that Peppers put us in a position where we pretty much are going to lose this game. But guess what? Let's go ahead and try to pull this victory out of the jaws of defeat. And guess what? You can't do it. You can't do it because you got people on the team that's working against the refs. You got people on the team that's working against the imbecilic, terrible play calls and the ridiculous resolve of the coaching staff that you got on your team. And you got the people in the team that is trying to put it together, is working against the terrible play and the terrible referees and the terrible, I don't even know what's a penalty anymore in the NFL. I don't even know what's a penalty anymore. This is the 2nd week in a row a blatant false start is just called, but just missed, just totally missed. The line judge is standing on the line. The same dude that does this, when you're a receiver and a DB line up, and you see, for you fans out there, that when you see a receiver or a DB do this, we good? Or when you see a receiver line up and he's like this, get in this stance like this, setting, he talks to the line judge, we good, line up. He got one job, to look down the sideline and say, are you lined up? Yes, you're lined up correctly. Or throw a flag when the guy jumps. But they seem to get Myles Garrett on false starts. They seem to get Myles Garrett on offsides every week. Myles Garrett, he's lined up in the neutral zone. Myles Garrett's jumping the snap. But you got fat tackles that are jumping before anybody on both lines of scrimmages is moving. But this guy can't see him. That's twice. Once against the Chargers on a touchdown play. And once again, this week, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I'm just starting to see a pattern here. The NBA referees, I thought, was the worst referees in the world. Nah, they didn't. I'm sorry. Listen, let me write into Adam Silver. I'm sorry, Adam. I know I raked y'all over the coals when y'all missed that charging call and y'all reversed that call against Golden State with LeBron James, and y'all reversed that call and charging game 1 in the NBA Finals. I wrote y'all a really nasty letter. That was me. And I wrote you a nasty letter, and I'm sorry. I wrote it, and I wrote my name, and I had a pseudonym. I got a pseudonym. I wrote my name as Matilda, Miss Matilda from Cleveland, Ohio. That was Garrett Bush. That was me. I wrote you a nasty email. I said you got the worst officials in the face of the planet. I'm sorry. Roger Goodell in the NFL got the worst officials in all the leagues. They got officials worse than JV games on Wednesday afternoons in the Midwest. These dudes are terrible. I done paid the game for 20 years, done watched it for well over, combined playing and watching it for 30 years. I don't know what is a call anymore. I just don't. Any play over 10 yards is an automatic flag on the ground. If it's a run play, up, no, flag. Bring that back. I don't know what holding is. I don't know what roughing the passer is. I don't know what illegal hands to the face is. The game is just messed up right now. I just don't know what it is. But that's neither here nor there. What I do know is Hugh Jackson on the sideline is clueless and he's lost. I feel sorry for the dude because he's a solid dude. If he was like a dude that was trying to coach my kid to teach him some good values, teach him the fundamentals of the game, teach him what football is about, and really give him a great speech, and teach him about like really just sticking in and really about life lessons. I like Hugh, man. Listen, I like Hugh Jackson. I think he's a good dude. I think he knows the game, but I just don't think he got it here, man. I just don't think he got it here because he has games that's delivered to him on a silver platter. And in this league, you can't continue to find ways to lose games. You can't continue to send punt returners back there that don't deserve to be punt returners. We all see it, bro. We all understand what it is. He consistently keeps having to have different aspects of the game taken away from him. Baker Mayfield should have been starting since day one. Everybody can see it, except for Hugh. He puts Tyrod Taylor out there and says he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then 2 games in, he don't play no more. They had to trade Carlos Hyde and put Nick Chubb in the game, and everybody in America sees that Nick Chubb has way more upsides than Carlos Hyde. They had to take the keys away from him to put Nick Chubb in the game. We've been saying for years, listen, you got to take Peppers off this punt return unit. Put anybody else back there. Jarvis Landry, Callaway, whatever you want to do. Just get him off the unit. Today it cost you. Today it cost you a game because he muffed a punt. In overtime, when your defense played well enough to get you off the field. You went for it on a lot of times when you could have kicked the field goal to get you up, and that came back to haunt you, bro. Your quarterback has been playing gutsy with a ragtag. Heathcliff in the gang, the junkyard gang at receiver. Jarvis Landry, I called him out on my airwaves on 92.3 The Fan all week. He showed up and showed out. He played his tail off. He played with the juice that I wanted to see him play with. I seen him play the Jarvis Landry off the Hard Knocks that I seen him play with, stretching the ball over the goal line. Good. I seen him play with heart. I called Jamie Collins out. Shout out to Jamie Collins. He played a heck of a game today, getting the interception, making calls all over the field. I called you out all week, Jamie Collins, and I want to thank you for showing up and showing some leadership out there. Defensive line came up. Emmanuel Ogbah, thank you for jumping off the milk box. Thank you for showing up off of the back of the milk carton. You actually showed up. We can get your name. We can tell the local field office agent for the FBI. Listen, I know it's the first 48. We don't have to look for Emmanuel Ogbah. He actually found 2 of his pass rush moves, and we don't have to get the divers out of the pond back in the local reserve agency in the field office using, and we don't have to go look in the lake back in the golf cart and back in the golf carts, of course, because we don't have to get the agents out looking for you because you got pass rush moves and you actually joined Myles Garrett and Larry Ogunjobi in the sack party. Thank you, Mr. Ogbah, for showing up. I want to say thank you for those guys showing up. But listen, the coaches didn't do you no favors. Todd Haley, you did some good things in starting off in the second half. You start off your first 12 scripted plays is worse than the 6th grade JV team. Your scripted plays, I don't know what the identity of this team is. Your scripting plays is horrible. Your goal line plays is trash. It's hot garbage. Todd Haley, you might be low-key. Listen, Ben Roethlisberger was offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. You wasn't offensive coordinator. They let you walk up out of here for a reason. You also is out here auditioning for the last half of your position too. And I already told you what the headlines read. The headlines read all ready to go. Listen, even after showing promise, this read in the headlines at Cleveland.com. After showing progress in the season, in 2018 season, the Browns still part ways with Hugh Jackson. I don't know what it is. You put it in the description at the bottom line of this. You give me your headlines, because I'm going to tell you what. After what I'm seeing, it doesn't look good for Hugh Jackson, and I can't. And whether you want to get mad at me or not, he has the ability to go out here and win football games. I don't make games. I don't make up storylines. I don't make games up. You got an opportunity to go out every single game in the NFL to win football games and to beat teams, and he hasn't done that for 3 years. So if you're mad, if you're family, friends, or whatever you want to be, he has an opportunity to go out there, and that's a great thing about the NFL. Race, religion, creed, relationship status, whether whoever you believe in, how much money you got, has nothing to do with your ability to go win games, and that's what the Cleveland Browns have not done for 3 years. So if you like Hugh Jackson, he got another opportunity next week. But if he keeps coaching like the way he is this week, it don't look good for him. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel, because no one's telling it like this. No one ain't telling it like your boy. It's your boy G Bush. Please subscribe to the channel at GBush91 on Twitter, on Instagram, GBush91_ the barbershop. And as always, please let everybody know, guess what? If you don't know like you know, now you know. And it is what it is. Peace. You've been locked in with G Bush in the Barbershop. Feel free to take a look at some of our other videos linked here, and also subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our updated content coming out regularly. Thanks again for listening.